52 of Africa's 54 present-day countries were colonized by Europeans following the Berlin Conference. A person cannot possibly do justice to all of these stories in one entry. But what a person can do is select a few which carry the hallmarks of Europe's colonizing disasters. And so we begin with Nigeria. Before Europeans arrived to the area which would later become Nigeria, the region was a pretty well-functioning set of societies with no shared political or cultural identity. It was not utopian, but it was operating with all the perils and successes of any group of societies living with shared borders, interstate trade, war, diplomacy, and rivalries. The first Europeans to arrive in the region were the Portuguese. They sought to buy slaves from the natives, then resell them to Europeans in the New World for profit. Then came the French, Dutch, Swedes, Germans, Spaniards, and finally the British. Chiefs and African people ensured that European contact with the Nigerian region was limited to coastal areas for many decades. For the native Africans, allowing Europeans into the interior would interfere with their own profitable position as middlemen between interior slavers and the Europeans. But then, in 1807, the British Empire abolished slavery. After slavery, the British Empire was keen to keep exploiting its relationship with West Africa, and indeed exploiting the continent itself, for the same reasons as their European neighbors. They wanted to remain competitive, they wanted resources to use and markets to sell to, and they already had a well-established African trade network. In quest for these goals, the British efforts were not peaceful or kind. For example, when the King of Lagos refused to sign a treaty with Britain, they bombarded the island with warships, quickly took control of it, and installed a puppet ruler. It was around this time that the Berlin Conference took place. Britain came out of that conference with the European granted right to the region of Nigeria. The British indeed conquered the area, and for several years ran its northern and southern regions as two completely separate political and administrative entities. At the time, the Northern Protectorate of Nigeria was running via subsidy from the Southern Protectorate. The North was in fact operating at a loss. It cost more to run than it produced in tax or trade revenue. For the British, this just wouldn't do.